Hey guys, a few months ago we did a video with nutritionist Karishma Chawla of Eat Rite 24/7 and she gave us some phenomenal advice on weight loss. So you want to go back and take a look at that video for sure. But today, on popular request, we've requested her to come right back into the studio and talk about your favorite topic. Yes, we're talking about keto diet. Hey Karishma, thank you so much for being here and welcome back.
It's been a pleasure. Hi Chetna.
They love that video and keto is now the buzzword. So tell us about it. What is this keto diet? What is ketosis all about?
Okay, so ketogenic diet is a low carbohydrate diet where you're forcing your body to burn fat for energy. Okay. Now, since the body has a limited capacity to burn fat, there's an incomplete breakdown of fats which basically leads to ketosis.
Okay, so Karishma, tell us what is the composition of this new diet that they should be following?
Ideally, when you're on any fat loss plan, we basically give you 100 grams of carbohydrates, primarily fibrous carbohydrates, which would be around 100 grams, in order to prevent ketosis. But because it's a ketogenic diet and you're forcing the body to actually break down fats and use it for energy, instead of carbohydrates, we go down to 15 to 20 grams of carbs.
Okay.
So if you look online, you will have like different versions of keto, right? Where people are taking around 60 grams, 70 grams, and then they come to 30, 40. So yes, it does make sense for the body to start getting used to it. A version or a progressive keto diet could be you start with 50 grams of carbs, and then you the ideal would be 15 to 20 grams.
Okay.
So your protein could be your 1 gram per your lean body mass.
Right.
And obviously you take into account your stress levels as well as your activity levels.
Right.
In terms of your exercise.
Okay.
Now the important thing is the fat. The idea that we need, it's a high fat diet, right? So your fat could be anywhere between 100 to 150 grams.
Okay. So let's say roughly somebody has about 50 kgs of lean body mass. They're taking about 15 grams of carbohydrates, about 50 grams of protein and 100 to 150 grams of fat.
But again, there are two things that I ideally do is firstly, I don't start with somebody with a 150 grams of fat, right? Need the body to get used to it because suddenly there's too much fat happening.
Yeah.
And the person could also be struggling a lot with any of the other issues that should not get triggered off. So maybe we could begin something like with the 70-80 grams, go up to 100, 120 and then 150.
Okay.
Right? And with the most important thing in the fat is that because people think it's like it's a free slip to eat your fats.
Right.
They get your cheese, your butter, ghee, all of them in, right?
Right.
So the idea is to actually have the right fats.
Okay.
And actually indulge in the wrong fats once in a while.
Okay.
So again, the two reasons for it. If I give you too much of bad fats, that's going to lead to imbalance in the body. And actually you could be, in the longer run, it could lead to a medical issue.
Okay.
Or secondly, because people enjoy fats so much, especially the bad fats, being so palatable,
Right.
that means you've really not changed anything about your lifestyle.
True.
So when you're back, when you're again redoing your normal plan,
Right.
or when you're phasing out and coming back to a normal plan,
Right.
it's going to get tougher.
Your taste buds have sort of developed.
Yeah,
for
and
that.
then you would still want to indulge.
Right.
And what also happens is then people get into very easy pre of doing ketogenic diet every 3 months. Because then they feel, okay, fine, they've gone out, they've put on 10 kgs, and I know that ketogenic diet would work.
Okay.
But we need to realize that this cannot be our lifestyle.
Right.
It's done for a very small period.
Okay, so looking at that small period, what is the typical period you think that should be 15 days or should it be a couple of months?
So ideally, ketogenic diet takes 4 to 5 days to kick in,
Right.
to kickstart basically.
Right.
So the first time when you need 15 days of strict compliance.
Okay.
Like for example, if I put you on a fat loss plan and I'm allowing you to cheat or reward yourself once in a week. So that basically doesn't stop your progress, it just slows it down, right? But in a ketogenic diet, when your carbohydrates is as low as 15 to 20 grams,
Right.
now you go out on a Saturday night and binge into all the wrong carbs,
Right.
you're basically nullifying the effect what you've done for the entire last week.
Oh, you reverse the ketosis.
Exactly. So because ketosis is a different science, so your compliance has to be very good.
Okay.
So every client that comes to you is not somebody who can do a ketogenic diet. For example, if you have somebody who needs to lose 15 kgs and has already shed down 10 kgs and has 5 kgs to lose, now that is very close to the ideal body weight, right? So two things can happen. Either you plateau, which is very normal. Every fat loss diet does plateau. And secondly, it also be because you're closer to your ideal body weight, your body is basically resisting my fat loss.
Sure.
So that's the time when you could give a ketogenic diet.
Okay, like
right?
a shock treatment.
So for a short treatment. So like I said, because ketogenic diet is an imbalanced plan, right? So because it completely eliminates carbohydrate and fiber.
Right.
So imagine starting your fat loss plan with a ketogenic diet. So I would rather want you to start with the right plan, understand the basics of nutrition,
Right.
and use this very smartly.
Okay.
So regardless of the fact it's imbalanced, you're using it smartly and wisely to get results.
Perfect. In fact, coming back to the composition of the foods that you mentioned, and you mentioned good fats and bad fats, you mentioned proteins. So could you elaborate a little on that, on what are the kinds of items that they should be consuming within a keto diet?
Correct. So when it comes to your carbohydrates, what essentially you do not require, so there is no cereals allowed, no pulses, no milk.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so a lot of people come to me and tell me I was on sprouts and I was on ketogenic diet, right? Thinking the sprouts are proteins, but they're not, because sprouts again come under the bracket of carbohydrate. So the only carbs that are allowed in this diet are basically your salads and veggies.
Okay.
And the strictest level of this plan would be your green leafy vegetables. So for example, your 15-20 grams of carbs would come in max 2 to 3 bowls of green veggies or salads in the entire day.
Oh, okay.
It's that low. Okay.
Yeah.
When it comes to your protein, it is your lean protein. So again, the myth is that you can have as much of the red meats, organ meats,
Right.
because you need protein and fat, right?
Right.
But like I said, we do not want to increase the bad fat percentage. So it would again be the lean meat, for example, your egg whites, your skim paneer, and lean chicken and fish, and perhaps even sometimes turkey.
Okay. Okay.
Right.
But talking about the fat, can they also have the yolk?
Yeah, at times.
Okay.
Okay, so for example, if you're having like a paneer, you can have full fat at sometimes. Or when you're having the eggs, because I'm counting the amount of fat, I can give you the yolk. But again, that depends a lot on your medicals that I'm going to look at and how well you exercise.
Okay.
The usual thing about keto is a lot of people indulge into cheese and the ghee and the butter. So I say use that sparingly. So for example, if you are out, right, and you need to eat a keto meal,
Right.
so you obviously call it for a grilled chicken or a grilled fish, you can call for your olive oil on the side and actually put on how much you need.
Okay.
Right, and calling for your salad with the amount of oil that you need. But if you call for sauces in the salads, then the sauces basically have sugar.
Okay.
That is again a carbohydrate.
Right.
So we feel because the sauces are only going to have fat, they're allowed in a ketogenic diet.
Oh, okay.
But you're not. You're allowed fat. You're not allowed sugar.
Sugar. Okay.
So there are these small things that people need to really tweak in order to be on the right ketogenic diet.
Yeah, and especially when you're traveling, eating out, and
Yeah, because it's actually like a green signal when you're on a ketogenic diet that you can eat out, right? Because it's full
Butter
fat.
chicken.
Yeah. So maybe once in a while you could give yourself that treat, but not on an everyday basis being on a ketogenic diet.
And tell me one more thing. You spoke about exercise and you said the quantum of what you eat is determined by your exercise. But a
That's
lot of
right.
people want to know is that can I sit on my butt and just have this 15 grams of carbohydrate and as you prescribe? Do I need to exercise when I'm on keto?
You need to exercise per se. It doesn't matter you're on a plan or you're not on a plan. You exercise because you want your body to perform better. So when you do any kind of a diet or get into any kind of an exercise regime, is basically you want to be fitter, right? Because 3 hours of exercise in a week could prolong your lifespan by 1 hour and plus enhance the quality of your life.
Right.
So why wouldn't you give yourself that?
Yeah.
So the whole idea is that you need to exercise being on any plan or being without any plan. Secondly, the right kind of exercise. So a lot of people going to get into cardio. They think they cannot weight train during your ketogenic diet. But it's a very subjective thing. So you could try it because some people get the energy levels are very high. Because fat is coming as a source of energy.
Of course.
So, and for some people it goes low. So you need to figure that out. And maybe for that brief period while you're following a ketogenic diet, you could actually tweak your workout plan accordingly.
Okay.
But there's nothing that you cannot do.
Okay. So Karishma, as we discussed, this is a buzz diet, very popular. Everybody seems to be following it. But are there certain people who should not strictly follow this diet?
Yes. So this is not recommended for anybody with diabetes. Not with anybody with liver problems, especially when the enzymes are really high. Somebody who has acidity issues, because the plan can get heavy because it's high on fat and proteins. So for difficult to digest, right? So you have to keep in mind that you are free from all of these diseases in order to do the diet.
Okay.
Again, when it comes to your cholesterol, somebody with high cholesterol, it's a thin line because you could indulge in the wrong fats. And if it's not completely monitored, it can lead to higher cholesterol levels because it's an imbalanced plan, right? The complete carbs is only 15 to 20 grams, and you're forcing your body to use the fat. So there is adding additional stress to the body. So firstly, everybody can't do it, and even if you do it for a short period of time.
Karishma, another question that I get asked a lot, especially because of the high protein component of this diet, is can a vegetarian follow keto diet?
Yeah, just the determination to follow the plan should be higher than actually wanting it.
Okay.
So simply because like I said, it's only 15 to 20 grams of carbs. That means only 2 to 3 bowls of salad or veggies in a day. And imagine not being able to eat chicken or egg whites. So the only thing that actually is left for any vegetarian to eat would be skim paneer.
Okay.
Now, for example, if somebody needs to have 50 grams of protein in a day, imagine the person needs 50 grams of paneer at least 5 times. So yes, it does become a little difficult. So you can alternate it with actually adding a whey supplement.
Okay.
So whey supplement in water, like your whey protein isolate in water, along with your paneer can be had.
Okay.
So for example, when you give your salads, the amount of oil that I'll be telling you to have in it would basically help you to fill yourself for a longer period of time.
Right.
So yes, vegetarians can do it, but you really need to have a very strong willpower to do it.
Yeah.
But if you think that because it's difficult for you to eat the paneer, because a lot of people are intolerant to paneer, right? You can't be just drinking whey and just having oil and salads.
Right.
So then I don't recommend such a plan to a vegetarian, because I don't want anybody to take a plan or adopt a plan to lose weight and starve themselves.
Right.
That's not what we're talking about, because any diet plan is a lifestyle disciplinary action, and it's actually a gift that you give your own body.
Sure.
So you do not want to starve yourself, get into any headaches or migraines, because that usually happens with a lot of people. Because we are anyway dealing with we are actually hitting the threshold of your carbohydrate.
Yeah.
And they're not even been able to eat protein.
Yeah.
So like I said, it's not ketogenic diet is not the end of all everything, right? So you could still be on a great plan and lose good amount of weight. Ketogenic diet should be a choice, not a compulsion to lose weight.
Another thing that happens, and actually this is the last question that I'm going to put to you, is that sometimes people have noticed a yo-yo effect when they go on and off this diet. So does that
Correct.
happen?
So essentially the yo-yo will come if you do not phase out from the ketogenic diet. Like for example, a lot of people who came up to me just before Diwali and they said that we want to be on a ketogenic diet because we have only 3 weeks.
Right.
Now the idea is, should I give a client what they want or shouldn't I? Now if I would give her or him a ketogenic diet, I'm sure by the end of 3 weeks there would be 5 to 6 kgs lesser, lighter, and then what would they do? The festive season comes in and then there's an increase in carbohydrate.
Right.
So your body has got into a yo-yo thing. So the thing is that you have to phase yourself out. So for example, when you're on a high fat, low carb and adequate protein diet in a ketogenic diet, right? So you increase your carbs in terms of fiber, you'll decrease the fat and try to stabilize your body.
Okay.
And while looking at your reviewing and monitoring your body, there is 1 serving of carbs added at different timings of the day in order to stabilize.
Okay.
Before I actually put you on a maintenance plan.
Okay.
And then a regular plan.
Oh, okay.
So it's actually a complete phase that you need to follow. So the yo-yo will happen not per se only with the ketogenic diet. Even if I give you any kind of a diet and you do not maintain it, and you don't phase yourself out of it, you will definitely gain weight.
So thank you so much. I think that was such amazing advice, and I hope all of them follow it and benefit from it. So thank you so much
You're
for being
welcome.
with us.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching till the end. And if you have any questions to ask Karishma or you want to ask me any questions, put them all down in the comment section at the bottom of this video. Press that little red button to subscribe to the show and the bell notification button next to that as well. And like us at Facebook, ChetChat 101, at Instagram at ChetChat 101, and at Twitter at ChetChat 101. And happy watching!